There are certain UFC fighters who haven't competed in a very long time, where the weight divisions have progressed so much without them. So here is 10 UFC fighters who have been inactive.
Number 10.
Juliana Pena is a top bantamweight contender whose last appearance in the UFC was against Valentina Shevchenko at UFC on Fox 23. In the fight, she would lose by an armbar in the second round. She hasn't fought in more than 1 year due to giving birth to her first child. Juliana Pena is one of the most dominant female fighters in the UFC, who mainly uses her grappling to control her opponents on the ground. Hopefully she is able to make a successful comeback and challenge for the title in the future.
Number 9.
Germaine de Randamie is a top bantamweight contender whose last appearance in the UFC was against Holly Holm at UFC 208. In the fight, both fighters had their big moments, where the unanimous decision was given to Germaine de Randamie, who became the first ever UFC Women's Featherweight Champion of the world. She would later get stripped of her title due to not wanting to fight Chris Cyborg. She has been out of action for more than a year due to recovering from injuries. Germaine de Randamie is a solid fighter who possesses dangerous Muay Thai skills and can definitely cause a lot of damage. Hopefully she is able to make a comeback and challenge for the title in the future.
Number 8.
Conor McGregor is the former UFC lightweight and featherweight champion whose last appearance in the UFC was against Eddie Alvarez at UFC 205. In the fight, Conor McGregor dominated the fight entirely and was able to get the TKO victory in the second round. He would later fight Floyd Mayweather in a boxing match and would lose by TKO in the 10th round. He was just recently stripped of his UFC lightweight title and is expected to be back this year. Hopefully he is able to return successfully and become a contender for the title.
Number 7.
Dominick Cruz is the former UFC bantamweight champion whose last appearance in the UFC was against Cody Garbrandt at UFC 207. In the fight, Cody Garbrandt would dominate the whole fight from start to finish to win the fight by unanimous decision, winning the title. Dominick Cruz has been out of action for more than a year as he has been recovering from injuries. Dominick Cruz's unique fighting style has given him so much success over the years, but hopefully we can see him get back to full health and compete at the highest level.
Number 6.
Joseph Benavidez is a top UFC flyweight contender whose last appearance in the UFC was against Henry Cejudo at the Ultimate Fighter 24 finale. In the fight, both fighters went at it for all 3 rounds, where the split decision was given to Joseph Benavidez. Since that fight, Joseph Benavidez has been out of action for almost a year and a half due to suffering an injury. He is currently on a 6-fight winning streak and is 1 or 2 more wins away from securing himself another title shot. Hopefully he is able to make a successful return and get back to his winning ways.
Number 5.
Ryan Hall is the Ultimate Fighter Season 22 winner, whose last appearance in the UFC was against Gray Maynard at the Ultimate Fighter 24 finale, where after the 3 rounds, he won the fight by unanimous decision. Since that time, he has refused to compete due to not getting top 15 competition. He said he refuses to fight the fighters outside of the top 15 and wants to jump right into the Shark Tank. Ryan Hall's grappling skills are on a whole different level, where hopefully we can see his superb skills put into action in the near future.
Number 4.
Josh Barnett is a top heavyweight contender whose last appearance in the UFC was against Andrei Arlovski at UFC Fighter 93. In the fight, Josh Barnett was able to get the rear naked choke finish in the 3rd round. After the fight, Josh Barnett was notified for a potential doping violation by USADA, where he was given a lengthy suspension from the UFC. He later took his case to arbitration, and it was recently found that a contaminated substance was the reason for his failed drug test. He has been absent from the octagon for a year and a half, where hopefully he is able to return soon.
Number 3.
Ben Rothwell is a top heavyweight contender whose last appearance in the UFC was against Junior Dos Santos at UFC Fighter 86. In the fight, Junior Dos Santos pummeled Ben Rothwell for all 5 rounds to win the fight by unanimous decision. He was later scheduled to face Fabrizio Verdum at UFC 211, but the fight was cancelled due to Ben Rothwell failing a drug test. He accepted a 2-year suspension from USADA and will be eligible to fight on February 6, 2019. Ben Rothwell is a very talented fighter who possesses very heavy hands and is very dangerous on the ground. Hopefully he is able to come back better than ever.
Number 2.
Cain Velasquez is the former UFC heavyweight champion whose last appearance in the UFC was against Travis Brown at UFC 200. In the fight, he would maul Travis Brown in the 1st round, winning the fight by TKO. Since that time, Cain Velasquez has been recovering from a back injury and has been out of action for almost 2 years. A healthy Cain Velasquez is a dangerous fight for anybody, as he is so ruthless inside the octagon. Hopefully he is able to come back soon and challenge for the title.
Number 1.
Todd Duffee is a top heavyweight contender whose last appearance in the UFC was against Frank Mir at UFC Fighter 71. In the fight, Frank Mir would brutally knock out Todd Duffee in the 1st round. It has been almost 3 years since we last saw Todd Duffee compete. Since that time, Frank Mir has left the promotion and Todd Duffee has struggled to get back into the octagon due to a number of injuries. Todd Duffee is a very explosive athlete, where all of his wins have come by finishes. He is an exceptional athlete who is very talented, and hopefully we can see him return back to action very soon.